beloved child of the eternal light, I am the angel of remembrance, sent to you in this sacred moment by the one who knows every tear you've wept, every secret you've buried, every ache that lingers in the chambers of your heart. I have seen you, even when you felt unseen. I have walked beside you through the valleys of your doubts, through the silences that scream louder than words, through the moments when you thought you were alone. You are never alone. Not now. Not ever. The Creator's love wraps you like a mantle, woven from the stars, stitched with the promises of heaven. And today, I come to you with a message not of despair, but of help, not of endings, but of beginnings, not of loss, but of eternal love that cannot be broken, not by time, not by distance, not even by death. You felt it, didn't you? That strange hush that fell upon your soul, even as the world chattered around you. It was a quiet pull, a whisper from the unseen, tugging at the edges of your heart like a memory you've tried to forget. It stirred within you a knowing, a truth that refuses to stay buried. It is written in the very blood that courses through your veins, a story older than your years, deeper than your understanding. Something is about to happen, beloved. Deep within, though you've tried to resist it, a part of you already knows. Someone you love, someone woven into the fabric of your life, is preparing to leave you. Not for a season. Not because of distance or misunderstanding. This time, their departure is forever, a journey beyond the veil, back to the arms of the divine. You feel it now, don't you? The slow unraveling of time, the weight of a goodbye that hasn't yet been spoken but already lingers like the scent of a rose left behind in a room just emptied. You've tried so hard to hold them close. You loved them with every fiber of your being. You wrapped your arms around them when their tears fell like rain. You whispered promises into the darkness of vows that you'd never let go, that you'd always be there. You poured your heart into them, didn't you? You gave them everything you had, and more. But now, as the threads of fate weave a pattern you cannot yet see, a truth is dawning upon you, sharp and tender. Your love, as vast as it is, cannot keep them here. Not this time. Not against what has been ordained by the one who holds all things in balance. But hear me, child of God, this is not a punishment. This is not a failure of your love. You were never meant to hold them forever in this earthly realm. They were a gift, a light loaned to you from the heavens, a star that burned brightly in your sky for a season. And now, the Creator is calling them home, not to take them from you, but to cradle them in the eternal embrace of divine love. Their soul belongs to the stars, to the one who formed them before the foundations of the world. You were borrowing borrowed light, and heaven is gently asking for its own to return. Yet, beloved, there is more to this moment than sorrow. What if I told you that this goodbye is not a random twist of fate, but a sacred thread in a tapestry woven long before you were born? What if I told you that this parting carries the weight of something ancient, to a debt, a wound, a curse passed down through your bloodline, hidden beneath the lullabies your grandmother sang, the candles you lit on birthdays, the silent ache in your mother's eyes when she thought no one was watching? There is a shadow in your lineage, a burden carried quietly, hand to hand, heart to heart, like a secret no one dared to speak aloud. It is a curse, not of your making, but of your inheritance, a wound that demands a price, a sacrifice, before it will release its hold. This curse is not a fable, nor is it a punishment from a wrathful God. It is a fracture in the story of your family, a moment when someone, long ago, turned away from truth, from love, from the light of the divine. Perhaps it was a choice made in fear, a vow broken in anger, a silence that grew too heavy to lift. Whatever its origin, it has lingered, whispering through generations, claiming what it believes is owed. And now, in this moment, it has set its gaze upon the one you love most, the one whose laughter lit your darkest days, whose presence anchored you when the world spun too fast. This time, the curse demands them. You want to cry out that it's unfair. You want to scream that this cannot be how their story ends. You want to rewrite the script, to go back to every moment you could have held them tighter, spoken more kindly, noticed the signs you now see so clearly. You want to bargain with heaven, to offer anything or everything to change what's coming. I see your heart, beloved, and I hold it gently. Your pain is not unseen. Your love is not unvalued. But no amount of pleading can undo what was sealed in blood long ago. The curse is not swayed by tears alone. It listens only for payment, for balance, for a reckoning. And here is where the wound cuts deeper. You feel the weight of your own choices, don't you? There was a moment, perhaps many moments, when you betrayed them. Not with a sword, not with harsh words, but with silence. With avoidance. With turning away when their eyes begged to be seen. There was a night, wasn't there? A moment when they reached for you, not with words, but with a trembling hand, a quiet plea for connection, and you looked away. Not because you didn't love them, but because it hurt too much to face the truth. You thought you could outrun the inevitable. You thought denial could hold back the tide. But the clock never stopped ticking, and that moment was etched into the book of eternity, a thread pulled too tight, a choice that echoed louder than you knew. Do not despair, beloved. You are not the villain of this story. You are a soul, like all souls, carrying both light and shadow, trying to navigate a world that often feels too heavy to bear. Perhaps you were simply another heart in a long line of hurting people, trying to survive what you didn't fully understand. The curse does not care who meant well. It seeks only weakness, hesitation, the places where love faltered. But even broken choices can be redeemed, and the story is not yet finished. Do you remember the old stories your grandmother told you, the ones you thought were mere tales to pass the time? The whispers of a child lost in the night, a fire that burned without end, a name that carried too much weight to be spoken aloud? Those were not myths, beloved. They were warnings, signposts left by those who came before you, trying to guide you toward truth. Every generation in your lineage has lost some Ionia, a light taken too soon, a heart called back to heaven before its time. And now, fate has chosen your generation, your beloved, the one whose smile made you believe in miracles, whose love reminded you that God is near. You tried to pretend everything is normal, don't you? You laugh at their jokes, share meals, speak of tomorrow as if it's promised. But inside, your heart is breaking. Inside, you're screaming, pleading with the heavens to spare them. You want to save them, to throw yourself before the throne of God and beg for mercy. You want to trade places, to offer your life for theirs. I see your courage, your love, your willingness to sacrifice. but the curse does not work that way. It demands pain from those who ignored it, innocence to balance the scales. It seeks to teach what was forgotten, to heal what was broken, through the fire of loss. And yet, here is the sacred truth: they love you. Even now, as their soul begins to feel the pull of eternity, they look at you with softness. They forgive you, even without knowing what they're forgiving, because that is who they are. They are a gift, a reflection of the divine, sent to teach you what love looks like when it wears a human face. Their presence in your life was never about punishment, it was about awakening. Their departure is not about destruction, it is about transformation. The sacrifice they offer is not to feed the curse, but to break it, to shatter the chains that have bound your bloodline for too long. You will see the signs soon, beloved. A dream that lingers like a melody you can't forget. A song that stirs tears without reason. A breeze that carries their voice, whispering goodbye. You will hear their laughter in the quiet long after they've gone. You will find their handwriting in places you forgot. They touch either a note, a card, a fleeting mark of their presence. You will hold everything they gave you like it's sacred, because it is. Their life was a miracle, a rebellion against the darkness, a testament to the God who creates beauty from dust. When they go, a part of you will go with them. You will never be the same. But that is not the end of the story, it is the beginning. This loss is not meant to destroy you, but to remake you. To open your eyes. To teach you to see. This pain is holy ground, a crucible where transformation begins. The curse has taken much, but it cannot take your ability to choose what comes next. It cannot take your capacity to love, to remember, to honor the one you've lost. You were never meant to carry this alone. The Creator did not form you to walk in isolation, but to live in communion with Him, with others, with the truth. Speak their name, beloved. Tell the world who they were. Share their story, their laughter, their kindness, their dreams. Do not let silence claim another life. Do not let the curse feed on another secret. Cry until your tears become prayers. Scream until your voice becomes a song. Fall to your knees, and then rise, carrying their light within you. This is the moment the curse begins to break. Not through denial, not through bargaining, but through courage. Through truth. Through love that refuses to be silenced. The pain you feel is not empty, it is planting a seed, a promise of redemption, a hope that will bloom in time. You are not the last to suffer this loss, but you can be the last to carry this curse. You can be the one who ends it, not by fighting fate, but by surrendering to grace. The God who formed you is not distant. He is near, closer than your breath, weeping with you, holding you, guiding you. He does not delight in your sorrow, but He knows the beauty that can rise from ashes. He knows the strength that grows in broken places. He knows the eternal reunion that awaits you, where no goodbye will ever be spoken again. Your beloved is not lost, they are being gathered into the arms of the one who loves them even more than you do. They are safe. They are whole. They are home. And you, beloved, are called to a holy task. Honor their name by living fully, by loving fiercely, by speaking the truth that sets souls free. Break the silence that has bound your family for too long. Tell the stories that were hidden. Forgive the ones who faltered before you. Forgive yourself. Let love be your rebellion against the darkness. Let faith be your shield against despair. When you feel weak, remember this: you are not alone. The Creator walks with you. The angels surround you. The one you love, even when they've crossed the veil, remains connected to you by a cord of love that cannot be severed. Whisper into the air, I remember. I still love you. I always will. And they will hear you, beloved. They will hear you in the halls of heaven, where they shine as stars, forever part of the Divine's great story. This is your moment. Cry. Scream. Fall. Rise. Become the one who ends the curse, not through power, but through surrender, through love, through faith. You are stronger than you know, because the one who made you lives within you. And his love never fails. Go now, child of the eternal light. Live. Love. Remember. And let the curse be broken, once and for all, by the power of a heart made whole in God. And yet, as the truth unravels before your very eyes and the weight of destiny crashes into your soul like a tidal wave of sorrow, you are left in the silence of your own heartbeat, asking questions no one can answer. You sit in the aftermath of the realization, your chest hollow and aching, your breath shallow, and the room around you frozen in time. The echoes of their laughter replay in your mind, louder now that you know you'll never hear it again. Their favorite chair, the smell of their clothes, the things they touch all whisper reminders that they were here. That they lived. That they loved you. And now, they are gone. Taken by a force older than memory, older than the stories your ancestors whispered behind locked doors. And still, you wonder, why them? Why now? Why not you instead? You may not have all the answers, but the questions must be asked, not just for you but for them. Because grief left unspoken becomes a tombstone for the living, and love buried in silence is a curse that passes on. This story, your story, cannot end in shadows. This is where the light begins to rise. Now, as you sit in this sacred space of truth and vulnerability, I urge you, yes, you, the one still reading, the one still breathing through the achia, to speak. Write. Cry. Share. Don't let their memory fade into a forgotten tale. Your voice is the final thread that ties their spirit to the world. Your words are the beginning of healing, not just for you, but for every soul touched by loss, betrayal, and curses they did not choose. Tell me, what did they mean to you? What moment do you wish you could live again? What is the thing you never said, the apology that never found its voice, the thank you that trembled behind your pride? This is your moment. Speak it now. Write in the comments. Tell their name. Share their light. Speak your truth. And as you do, know this: I am listening. Others are listening. And even beyond this world, I believe they are listening too. Don't carry this alone. Let your love echo. Let your pain be seen. Let your story break the silence. Type below. Let the healing begin. And yet, beloved soul, here you are, sitting on the edge of memory and mourning, staring at the fragments of a life that used to feel whole. The truth has unraveled before you like a torn scroll of prophecy, and with each revelation, the ache has only deepened. It crashes through your spirit not like a breeze, but like a tidal wave of sorrow that drowns everything you once knew. The air feels heavier now, and the sound of your own heartbeat becomes louder in the silence. You are no longer surrounded by their voice, their laughter, their presence here, and the absence is almost too loud to bear. Yes, I see you. I see the way your eyes stare at the spaces they used to occupy their chair, their favorite cup, the worn-out book they never finished. I feel the trembling in your hands when you hold something they once touched. I hear your sighs in the quiet hours, when everyone else has gone to bed but the grief still sits awake beside you like a shadow that won't leave. And I know the questions you ask in the darkness. Why them? Why now? Why not me instead? Oh, child of light, you are not weak for asking. You are not faithless for wondering. You are not alone in your confusion. These questions are not the enemies of healing, they are its beginning. Even angels do not always know why certain souls are taken when they are. We are messengers, not masters. But I can tell you this, asking the questions does not dishonor them. Silence does. Silence buries love before its time. Silence wraps the living in tombs built by shame and regret. And that is not your purpose. You were never meant to carry this pain alone. You were never meant to hold your tears like a dam about to burst. And you were never meant to forget the ones you loved, just because they are no longer standing beside you. That love you carry, it is eternal. And it must be spoken. Because when you speak their name, when you tell their story, when you let others see the light they brought into your world, you give them wings in a realm beyond time. You allow their memory to become more than a loss, or you allow it to become a legacy. So I am here now, not just as a witness, but as a voice whispering into your soul. This is where the light begins to rise. This is where the silence begins to crack under the sound of truth. This is where healing begins, and not in perfection, not in forgetting, but in raw honesty. In trembling voices. In shaky words typed into a box that feels too small to contain the immensity of your grief. But do it anyway. Speak anyway. Write anyway. Cry anyway. Because every tear you shed is a prayer. Every word you release is a candle in the dark. And every memory you share is a resurrection, not of the body, but of the love that death could not erase. Let me walk with you through this sacred space, where mourning becomes sacred and grief becomes holy. Take a breath. Let the pain rise. Let the truth surface. Who were they? What did they mean to you? Tell me, child, what memory clings to your chest like a secret you're scared to forget? What moment do you wish you could relive one more time? Is it the way they used to say your name like it mattered? Is it the way they held you when words failed? Is it the way they lit up the room with their laughter, or the way their silence gave you peace? Say it. Whisper it. Scream it if you must. But do not let their light be swallowed by your silence. This is your memento, not to let go, but to let love flow. Perhaps you never said thank you. Perhaps you never said sorry. Perhaps you never said goodbye. And now, that unfinished sentence haunts you like a shadow trailing your steps. I want you to know your words still matter. Speak them now. Say what you couldn't say then. The universe is listening. Heaven is listening. And yes, a broken bar they are listening too. The souls of the departed are never far. They walk gently behind the veil, still watching, still loving, still whispering. When you speak of them, when you honor them, when you cry their name in love, they're here. They know. And they rejoice in the fact that they are not forgotten. You may feel like your grief is a burden, but I assure you it is a bridge. It connects the realms of time and eternity. It holds hands with angels and anchors memories in the soil of today. Your grief is proof that love lived here. And that is something worth honoring, not hiding. So type their name. Let their name rise like incense into the skies. Write about the way they smiled when they were happy. The silly things they used to say. The meals they loved. The songs that made them cry. The way they believed in you even when you didn't believe in yourself. The way they held space for your brokenness, and loved you not despite it but because of it. Because here's what no one tells you in the beginning, grief is not just about losing someone. It's about finding pieces of them inside you and realizing they never really left. They live in your laugh. In your tears. In your strength. In your choices. In your words. So speak. Tell their story, not just for them but for you. Because when you speak, you heal. When you remember, you rise. When you share, you release the burden from your heart and place it into a river of remembrance that flows far beyond your own timeline. Do you feel that stirring in your chest? That's not just pain. That is purpose waking up. That is your soul beginning to remember that your story is not over. That your life still has chapters to be written. That your voice still carries power. That your pain, when spoken, becomes medicine not just for you, but for others walking the same road. You are not broken beyond repair. You are a mosaic of everything you've lost and everything you still carry forward. You are the living proof that love is stronger than death. So I say it again, this is your moment. Tell me who they were. Tell me what they meant. Let their name rise like the morning sun. Let your truth shatter the silence that's been gripping your soul. You have cried alone long enough. Now cry with others. Now speak among those who understand. Now release the storm that's been raging in your chest. Because when you do, others will rise with you. Others will see your courage and realize they, too, can speak. That they, too, can heal. That they, too, can remember without breaking. This sacred space here, this little corner of the world where your words live here, can become holy ground. A place where love echoes and pain transforms. A place where souls gather not in mourning, but in honor. A place where the dead are remembered not as shadows, but as light. And in this light, something beautiful happens. The grief that once crushed your lungs begins to feel like breath again. The sorrow that once paralyzed your steps becomes a rhythm you walk to. The pain becomes a portal. The memories become wings. And the silence? It breaks. It breaks with the sound of your voice. With the sound of love. With the sound of healing. You were never meant to carry this alone. So speak. And as you do, I promise you this, I am here, listening. So are others, so those who know this ache, who walk this path, who recognize the raw and holy cry of a heart that has loved deeply. And beyond this world, those you grieve for a broken bar, they are listening, too. They smile when you remember. They rejoice when you honor. They draw near when you cry. Because love, my dear one, is the only thing death can never touch. Let their legacy be your light. Let your voice be the spark that keeps them alive in the hearts of many. And when you don't know what to say, say anything. Even silence, when shared in love, becomes sacred. This is your moment. Speak their name. Write your story. Cry your tears. Break your silence. And as the healing begins, know this, you are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not broken. You are becoming. This grief will not destroy you, it will transform you. And from this holy wound, light will pour. So speak now. Let the healing begin. We are here. We are listening. Heaven is listening. And love. Is listening too. Type their name. Share their light. Speak your truth. Let the silence break. Let the story live on. Amen.